Hey guys, how the hell are you? Welcome back once again to Arnold Drinks. My name is Arnold, and tonight I drink. So, tonight I am finally cracking open a bottle that a good buddy of mine sent to me. Thank you once again, Mr. Eli Schott, for sending the goods. This is New Riff Malted Rye. This is Kentucky straight malted rye whiskey, aged 6 years. It is 100 proof, so 50% alcohol by volume. It is something that I've heard about, something that I've read about, and I've had a bottle sitting on my shelf forever and ever, but something in me just kept telling me, don't crack open that bottle. Don't crack open that bottle until you are ready to really dive into that sucker. So, today's the day. This is New Riff Malted Rye, 6 year. Lately, I've been getting really into kind of malted grain of all sorts in various different whiskeys that I've been trying. I've been finding a lot to love there, and I've also been finding a lot to love in various ryes. So I think today is the day I have to dive into this bottle. Let's give it a shot. First a sniff. Smells hotter than it actually is at 100 proof. It's not like a huge ethanol burn. It's like a fruity kind of minty sweetness that's with that ethanol. Oh, that's interesting. So this is 100% rye in this mash bill, but it's malted rye. So as a result, I'm not getting in the aroma any sort of peppery like spikes or spiciness or anything like that. Just kind of a fruity sweetness throughout, which is very different. But then there's still that sort of mintiness that's in there too. Bit of chocolate that's in there. A bit of rye grain that's in there too, but that is so underlying. Everything else is just sweet, sweet, sweet coming to the forefront. Let's go in for a sip. Oh, that's nice. Oh, dude. So kind of a note that I get from a lot of other malt-heavy whiskeys. I'm getting a lot of fried dough from that. So definitely a fried dough sort of goodness there, just something savory and yet still sweet. Bit of sugar that's in there, maple syrup. We got, oh God, what do we have? We have a little bit of cherry that's in there, a bit of raisin that's in there, which is interesting. The mint is still coming forth in the palate. Let's go in again. That is so goddamn interesting to me because that is probably one of the sweetest ryes I've ever had. It's not brutally spicy at all. That is really interesting and really, really good. And the finish is long and lingering. Like, I'm sitting here still kind of just enveloped in that flavor. That is really quite nice. Let's go in again. So there's a bit of berry-like sweetness that's in there. Now that I've kind of let it sit in the mouth for a little bit before I swallowed it that time, getting a lot of like a sort of black tea note that's in there, which is interesting. It's something that in bourbon, it's not my favorite thing in the world, but in this, it's actually blending really, really nicely. It's balanced really, really nicely with the other flavor notes. That is, wow, that is rather exceptional, if I do say so. Let's go in again. There's a bit of oakiness, but it's not something that's super overpowering. It's something that blends really, really nicely with the other notes in the flavor profile. That black tea, the more I have this, the more that black tea is kind of coming to the forefront a little bit. It's still nice and sweet. It's sweet from all angles, really. You've got a little bit of a sugary sweetness in there, a little bit of kind of a maple syrupy thing. There's a little bit of a charcoal thing that's in there too that's kind of just pulling everything together. There's a really, really nice fruitiness to that. There's a little bit of banana, there's a little bit of cherry, there's a little bit of berry. It's kind of all encompassing. And the alcohol, the proofage that's in there is just kind of pulling everything together very, very nicely. Damn, that is quite good, if I do say so. That's something really, really different that I was not expecting at all. It's weird because it's kind of not ticking the boxes that I would typically expect from a rye whiskey. Like, yeah, there's a little bit of mintiness that's in there. Actually, I would say more than a little bit. There's a healthy amount of mintiness, but there's like next to no peppery spiciness whatsoever. There's not really any cinnamon that's in there. It's just kind of a fruity sweetness that's tempered by a rye graininess, if that makes any sense. And damn, is that an exceptional pour. Like, that is something that you could easily sit here and drink by itself, let alone put it into a cocktail, which is what I love to do with a rye whiskey. I'll tell you what, that is so fruit forward for a rye whiskey that the next old fashioned or Manhattan that I make here at home, I'm gonna try it with this just to see what happens, because I imagine just from tasting this neat that it's gonna be mind-blowing. So thank you guys so very much for tuning in. Please remember to like this video, subscribe to this channel. Tons more of this content to come, and as always, remember, take what you do seriously, but do not take yourselves too seriously.